Hey there, welcome back, and thank you for coming back. We are talking today with some great folks who know everything you need to know about making your new business sustainable. We have Dr. Shanda Gore from the University of Toledo. We have Eric Johnson, also from the University of Toledo today, and David Wood from the Minority Business Assistance Center, which is located at the Chamber of Commerce. Okay, it's all on you, David.
Well, what we are doing at downtown at the Chamber with the Minority Business Assistance Center, we're working with companies who are in business already, but as I mentioned, they don't have all the tools needed in order to build a successful business. So what we're doing is we're identifying those areas where they have weaknesses in and try to make them strong in those areas.
So and are you guys working together on that?
Yes, we do.
Yes. Oh, that's great news. That's great
news.
And
the good news is that once they become a part of our program, and we're using a program called Fast Track New Venture for companies that are in business, what we're doing, we're drilling where most companies are weakest in financial planning and trying to show them and train them the importance of maintaining records and knowing how to read what those numbers are telling them. So we're taking them to the importance of things like what is your balance sheet and what does it mean?
Yeah, budgets, managing
budgets.
What is your
income statement and what is it telling you?
Right.
What is the importance of cash flow? Because it's going to tell you whether or not you're going to run out of cash, and so you're going to be belly up. And so learn how to use those tools, learn how to use what it's telling you in order to go back and revisit your business in order that you can restructure it in a way that you can become profitable.
You know what I worry about, though? I worry that we are scaring folks away from this. You know, we really need the spirit of entrepreneurialism. You know, we need folks to get out and start business, and especially people of color. They need to get out. And actually, I read a number that said the highest number of new businesses were actually being started by people of color. So we need to find a way to make sure that people are encouraged and you know, so should they be scared?
They shouldn't be scared. I mean,
I'm scared.
Well,
I'm scared for them. I am. This is really sort of overwhelming.
We have organizations like the Minority Business Development Center and the Minority Business Assistance Center here in the community to help individuals who want to go into entrepreneurship. You don't have to go at it alone. You know, there's professional help, and in the Minority Business Assistance Center case, it's free.
I was just going to ask, yours is free.
It's free. And see, what we do is we are encouraging minorities to go and seek entrepreneurship. And our goal and mission with the state of Ohio is to take those businesses and help them develop in those areas where they need needs.
What great synergy, though, between your organizations, because you do that, and at your place there's that additional layer of this is what you need to look like for the public. Here's your desk, here's your space, here's your assistants, graduate level assistants. That's so cool.
Yeah, and all the things that David go through with the fast track process are the things that we look for in the admissions process. You know, those financials. We're looking at the financial wherewithal to sustain that lease, and to make sure that you can get the proper marketing materials or make sure you have your budget in place for your capital improvements and things like that that you want to go after. So it's a great place to locate your business. And earlier I was talking about our membership, but I also talked about a second way to be associated with the center, which is through our affiliation. And the affiliation means that you don't occupy space in the center, but you can access some of the amenities. So it's
some of the amenities we've already talked about. The like graduate students, for instance.
And the conference room. So if you need a meeting place, you can access the conference room by way of being an affiliate. And the affiliation cost is a lot less than the membership, which is $75 per month.
A month?
Yes.
As opposed to $238 a month.
As opposed to $238 per month.
Yes. Doctor?
Yes, and what's amazing about that, and there are companies out there that, again, we don't have children and we don't have food within the center, the 5,000 square feet. So you may have a restaurant, maybe you're managing a daycare or you're trying to start that up, but you want the affiliation, you still need some of those resources. This affiliation, we've had it now I think in place for almost 2 years now, has really filled that void that was out there. And I wanted to emphasize that there are a number of companies out there, they're just not sure, and I think you mentioned about being scared. I know a number of companies that are worried.
Yeah.
Or they're currently working full time and they're not sure do I have enough time to really start this business?
Right.
The time commitment. And so there's a number of companies and individuals who are actually working that 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 or past that time, and then they're squeezing in that time at the end of the day. You know, and the center, you come and go. You know, we have companies that are there that are periodically, you may see them for 2 days in a row, you may see them for 3 days in a row, you may not see them maybe at a week, maybe they're out at a conference. So it's not required, but I think that whole atmosphere, and I have to emphasize relationship building. It's one thing we really haven't talked a whole lot about. It is so important to build relationships, not just within the minority companies within themselves, but those that are outside the minority business.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm so glad that you raised that point. That is critical. Absolutely critical point. So if I am concerned about, I don't know if my financials look the way they should look. I'm a little concerned about cash flow. Am I really going to make it? Do I get that support from you guys?
You will get that support from us. I mean, just recently we had a company who submitted an application, who submitted financials, and the financials didn't look quite right. So in the interview process, we sat down with them and we talked with them about the categories that they had presented on the financials and the things that didn't look right to us. And they went back and they had a chance to rearrange, kind of put things in the proper category. They just had things miscategorized.
But what if I'm concerned about what if I'm concerned about my financials? Do you help me analyze my business to understand where I might be having a problem, or is that something that you guys do?
I know inside of the center for our members, we do look at that. You know, as Dr. Gore mentioned earlier, it's a programmatic approach. So there are certain requirements, like their financial statements have to be turned in on a biannual and annual basis, so we can analyze those financial statements to see if the business is growing in equity or declining in
But
equity.
suppose I'm not, and I'm nervous. Do I come to you
Well,
for
we talk about it.
assistance? You'll talk about it?
we talk about it, and
will
we
you tell me how to
implement
fix it?
strategies to
You will.
fix that.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
and what's
Okay.
going on with it, and then we'll refer sometimes to David and the counseling crew down at the MBAC to come in and work more one-on-one, hands-on, in addition to the resources that we have at the center
Right.
to assist in defining those problems and coming up with solutions to
Because I
address
think that's
those
what's
issues.
critical. I think sometimes once you start a business and you know you think that you understand what you're going to run into, but you never really do. And so suppose you run into something that is unexpected, that's very challenging to your business. What I'm hearing you say is that you provide a resource and you provide a resource to help
Right.
people strategize their way through it.
Right, because what we do, and some of the same things you've already mentioned, relationship building, et cetera, and things like that. At the Minority Business Assistance Center, that is one of the things that we focus on with our clients, because if you can't build relationships, how do you expect to earn the respect and the knowledge of any other businesses to the point where they want to do business with you? And so you have to be able to voice and discuss your financial position or your financial reports with anyone who inquire.
Or your personnel issues, or whatever the
Right.
issue is that's causing you difficulty.
Well, see, and then on top of that, what we're doing is we do some fast track. We do fast track workshops, and we're drilling basically on we're showing businesses how to set your companies up in the software, and how to generate reports in the software, and how to read the reports in the software. And so in this fast track, we do have interaction. We're in team building groups where each group is discussing these things, and we're learning from each other. Rather than just being a person who is teaching, it's an interaction. So in this interaction, you're learning how to build relationships, you're learning how to express yourself, you're learning how to understand and read financial reports, and you're learning how to get before a group and to go ahead and talk about your position.
Your position. Why are people so afraid to ask for help? I think that you guys must see it. You must see it, that there are so many businesses that could have been pulled back from that cliff if they had just had that conversation.
I've ran into a number of companies that were started, and so it's family oriented, and so it keeps within the family. It's a culture. And so we keep those kind of issues within our group. So I don't really want to share that with you. I know you're trying to here to help me, but I'll get this worked out. And when I'm really, unfortunately, sometimes it's not even when it's beyond the point of the saving, and that cash flow. I think that it's critical in those days when you're like, I didn't expect this. You've got to have cash
flow to get that through.
Yeah,
There's so much more to talk about here, and I promised Dr. Gore that we could talk for a few minutes about a topic that's totally unrelated to this. So you guys are going to have to come back, okay? And I want you to tell everybody about Martin Luther King.
Okay.
About that holiday.
Well, I want to welcome everyone to the Martin Luther King celebration, which will be tomorrow at 9 a.m. in our Savage Arena at the University of Toledo. We're expecting a couple thousand people.
Yep.
If you come out, please make sure you bring a non-perishable food item from the Martin Luther King Kitchen for the Poor. We'll have great speakers, and the choirs will be back, and it's a day of celebration, and it's a day on, and we're excited.
Oh, thank you so much for that. You guys, you'll come back? You'll come back again? Okay, great. We have so much more to talk about. We got to go away. We'll be right back.